Okay, so while we talk about customization of application, the first concept that we're going to talk about is customization of the front end user interface. All right, and for that we will begin with page layout. So this customization word is a something which covers a big area. Customization means customizing the interface, customizing the data model, customizing the logics, right? So it's basically a huge area. uh, Creating new interfaces, creating more database objects to store more data, building up relationships between the objects, forming your own logics. So a lot of things will be covered under this, right? So this customization thing can be done in two ways, right? So which I think we have talked earlier as well. One is the declarative way of doing this, and one is using programs. Using programs. Okay, so there is a declarative method of doing the customization. Whatever we have been doing so far is all declarative, and for next few sessions we will continue to be on the declarative mode, and then we jump into the programs wala section. So where we start talking about here, how do we do customization using programs and stuff. All right, so that is how it is. Okay, so page layout is again customizing the interface using declarative method. So there is no program involved in this. Later on, after a few more sessions, we will get into customization of UI through code, through Visual Force. That's something which will actually start in a few days. So today we are going to start talking about page layout. Page layout is a very simple concept. As the name says, page layout. It's basically setting up the layout of the page that we see. Okay, and this basically refers to the detail page. Okay, detail page, or yeah, let's say detail page, or we also call it a view page. So when you click on a record, that record opens up on a page, right? So that page is called the detail page of that object. So if I have to show you, Manish, can you please share the password? Okay, so if you click on any record, that can be from any object, any standard or custom object, let's say projects. Now you go and click on a particular project record. This is the detail page of a project. Okay, you can go to any standard object and see the same thing. Go to accounts, open an account. So this is the page layout for this account object, right? So in page layout, what you can do is you can customize the layout of this page. Using the page layout option, we can customize the layout of this page. Okay, so how that is done? It's very simple to do that. All that you have to do is you just have to set up go to the object for which you want to change the page layout, and then go to the page layout. Let's say I want to change it for the project object. So then I should go to object, setup, create objects, and under objects go to the, what's the name of this object, project. Okay, I want to do it for project, so let me go to this. And if you scroll down, you will see page layout here. So all that you have to do is just go ahead and edit the page layout. So by default, when you create an object, a page layout is created. That's, by default. So standard objects definitely do have their own page layouts. And for custom objects, the moment you create a custom object, there is a page layout automatically created. You have the option of creating more page layouts, okay, or you can edit the existing one. Now there's one simple concept that I want to tell you about before we get into editing the page layout. Why would we need, see, if you see here, I have an option of creating more page layouts. Why do you think I would need multiple page layouts for the same object? Why do you think I'll need multiple page layouts for the same object? Anyone can answer, whatever thoughts.
It is just to show, different layouts to different users.
Different layout to different users, absolutely correct. So that is done through profiles, what
Yes, yes.
we discussed in last session, but the concept is correct. So I might want to have different kind of a page layout for different users. For example, my sales team wants to see some fields on the top, and the customer support team wants to see some other fields on the top. Okay, so that case, or some fields which are very important for the sales team are not that important for the customer support team, or marketing team wants to see some other field at all. So that is the reason why we need multiple page layouts. So right now we are not actually talking about multiple page layouts here, just for your understanding. Now let's go ahead and edit this page layout. Just click on edit. Okay, so this is the screen where you can set your page layout. Okay, all right. So all that you have to do is you just have to set the layout of the thing. So what all things can we do on the page layout using page layout? Let's quickly understand that. I can set the order or position of fields. That's what I can do using page layout. So which field will appear where, that is something which I can control using page layout. Okay, I can set the order and position of the field. I can make fields required on page layout. I can hide fields. Okay, so what I can do on page layout is I can set the order and the position of the fields, which field appears where, which one should be at the top and which one should be at the bottom and which one should be at the right and the left. So everything can be done here. Make the fields required. So if you feel that some fields need to be required, mandatory, you can make them required through page layout. If you don't want to show some of the fields, you can hide them. Okay, and the same way you can do all these things for related list also. You can set the order of related list. Now what is a related list?
Jeet, 1 minute please. Can we do all these changes with standard objects also?
Yeah,
Like which are already created from this Salesforce?
yeah, because you're not making any change on the object itself, you're just changing the interface. So all these things
Okay.
can be done on standard object page layouts or custom object page layouts. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
fine. Okay, now apart from changing the field position and all, we can also set the order of related lists. What is a related list? A related list is a list of child records. So if I go to accounts and if I open a page layout of the account, what you would see is all the account fields and after that all the related lists. So these are related lists, list of child contacts, opportunities. So these are all related lists. Okay. Now page layout allows you to remove some of these related lists if you don't want to see. It allows you to set the order of the related list if you want to see the opportunities at the top. Let's say if my customer support team is there, they would definitely be interested in having cases at the top, right? Because they have to work on the cases. My sales team might be more interested in looking into the opportunities at the top. Marketing team will be interested in looking in the contacts at the top. Got it? So different teams might need different page layouts, and you can set the order of them, and you might hide the related list as well. So these are all things which we can do through the page layout. Okay, clear on it? Now, how do we do that? To change the position of a field, just drag and bring it wherever we want. So it's a completely drag and drop functionality. Just drag one thing from one side to the other side, it should work. There should not be any problem. Okay, so here it is. Now if you want to make a field required, let's say expected end date, I want to make it required field. You just have to go to the properties, just take your mouse on top of the field and you just go to this properties, and here you will have an option of making a field required or read only. Okay, I want to make it required. Okay, now anyone who is entering a record into the project will always need to supply a value for this field. Okay, so this is a required field now. Clear? So that is how it works. Okay, now the next thing that we have here is how do I remove some of the fields? Let's say this manager field. I don't want this field to be here. I don't want to show this field. You can just go and click on this remove button. The field will get removed. So if you don't want to see some field, just remove that. If you want to make some field required, just make it required. Set the position by drag and drop. If some field you don't see here, you can bring it from here. Just now I removed manager, right? I want to bring that field back. Just drag it from here and bring it wherever you want. That's it. All right. So this is how it works. Now, once you have made your changes, before you come out of this page layout, just make sure that you save it. Saving is very important. If you don't save, the changes will not be saved. Okay, that's it. Now, if you go and see the projects, there it is. See, the layout has got changed. It has come the way we have designed it. Okay, clear? All right. Same way, if we can just quickly look into how we are actually going to reset the layout. Sorry, related lists. So for related lists, we just have to go to that particular page layout again, click on edit, and just have your related list, sorted the way you want. At the top, you have all these fields and related list and everything. So if you want more related lists here, notes and attachments, approval history, and all that. So you can just control which one should appear at the top and all. Let's say I want notes and attachment at the top. So that can be done. Clear? Okay. So that's about page layout. That's what you can actually do with a page layout. All right. So you just create a page layout or edit a page layout, and then set up all these attributes, whatever we have mentioned here. You set up all these attributes for the page layout the way you want, and save that. Okay. Second is obviously page layout assignment. This comes into picture only if you are using multiple page layouts. All right. So if you have more than one page layout, then only this thing comes into picture. If you just have one page layout, then there's no concept of page layout assignment. Page layout assignment means which page layout will be assigned to which all users. Okay. So you don't assign the page layouts directly to the users, you assign it to the profiles. Okay. So if you have two, or if you have 5 different page layouts, you can assign different page layouts to different profiles. Let's say for sales profile, you assign a different page layout. For customer support team, you assign a different page layout, that sort of thing. All right. So page layout assignment is simple. For that, let me first create one more page layout. I'm creating one more page layout called new page layout. Okay. So now I have 2 page layouts for this object. If you see, I have 2 page layouts for which for this object now. Yeah, here it is. So because I have 2 page layouts, what I have to do next is I have to assign page layout to users. Which user will have which page layouts? So you just need to go to the page layout assignment option here, and here you will have the list of all the profiles. You can just go and select which profile will have which page layout. That's it. Let's say for standard user, you want new page layout. Just go ahead and select it. For contact manager, contract manager, you need a new page layout. So wherever you want, you can just change that. All right. So that's it. So that's about page layout. Now there is a small question that I have. We saw this option that we can make fields required here on the page layout. We have this option I just showed you, right? So what we understand from here is I can make a field required on page layout. Correct? That's what we just saw. I can also make a field required while creating a field. We have an option of making a field required while we create the field. You've seen that option, right? There's an attribute on the field while you're creating a new field. It says required, and if you check it on, it becomes a required field. My question to you guys is, do you think there is a difference between these two things, these two approaches of making a field required? Does that make any difference to the required field if you make it required on the page layout or if you make it required while creating the field? Just think about it. What can be the logic? Why there are two options? There has to be some difference, right? Yeah.
I think the difference is if we are creating a field required while creating that field, then that field will be permanently will be required. Wherever will be used in any page layout or wherever that field by default will be required. But otherwise, a normal field we have to make it required while creating a page layout for every different layouts. Suppose we are creating a multiple layouts for one object, then for every layout we have to create that field required at that time. And if we have created that field required while creating that field only, then it will be a required field every time by default.
Did you attend my previous session on this thing?
On yesterday.
No, not yesterday. I mean on this page layout thing. No, right? It's
No.
your own thoughts, huh? Good, correct. So
Okay.
it's a simple concept, as Amish was saying.
Mhm.
Uh, if I make a field required while creating the field, okay. Yeah, before we talk
Mhm.
about that, okay, understand it this way. When you make a field required while you're creating the field, on the field attributes, if you make it required, the field become universally required. Okay, and remember this terminology. Sometimes you might be uh, seeing this terminology, universally required field. Okay, universally required field means that field needs to be required everywhere, wherever that field is used, no matter which page layout, no matter who is entering the data, what is the profile of that user, the field will be required universally. All right, so it does not make any difference to who is creating the record, or um, which page layout is being used, or if not page layout, if the data is being entered through a data loader also, if there is a backend upload also happening, the data will be required. Till the time you don't supply the value to the universally required field, the record will not get created. Okay, so that's one logic. The other option that we just saw today, I can make a field required on my page layout. That is basically field required on that particular page layout. Okay, so this, when you make a field required on a page layout, this makes the field required only on that page layout. It does not make the field required on the uh, for anything else, right? So let's say, for example, if I have two different page layouts, I make a field required on one of the page layouts and I don't make it required on the other page layout, so it can be that ways also. Okay, so let's say I have a sales team. I have created a page layout for them and I have made email ID required for the sales team. I have another team which is customer support team, and this for same object I've created another page layout for them, and I say that okay, when customer support team is entering the data, email should not be required. So I have an option of controlling this kind of an attribute, whether the field will be required for everyone or it will be required for some profiles, right? So that's something which can be done through page layouts. Another small concept, so that is one concept. Another small concept is any field which is universally required is required for your backend uploads also, because while I'm talking about a backend upload, it does not use a page layout, right? Page layout is only used by users. So if an end user is manually entering the data through UI, then only this matters, right? But if I'm talking about the what do you call it, data upload which is happening from the backend. In that case, I don't need this thing, right? Any page layout. So any field which you have made required on the page layout, if there is a field required on the page layout, will not create any problem for the data upload, or it will not stop any data from getting created because the value is not provided, because data loader does not use the page layout. However, if the field is universally required, then it will throw errors for the records if the value is not provided for the required fields. Got it? So that is the thing. So that's the concept. All right. So anytime, any field where you feel that okay, fine, this is a field like it has to be there, and no matter who is entering the data, the field value needs to be provided. Always go ahead and make it universally required. Any situation where you have a requirement that for some people it will be required, for some people it will not be required, don't make that field universally required. You can do it through page layouts. Okay, that's it.
This thing was discussed on Saturday.
Mhm.
Hello?
No, why?
No, you asked me na, that whether I attended this session earlier or what.
No, I thought you might have listened to some video or something and all.
Acha, acha.
That's
Okay.
good. Okay,
Okay.
so that is how it is. Uh, so page layout concept is okay. We are all clear on that. We do not have any question or doubt on this. Let's move on and talk about. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Earlier it was hanged or some problem in network.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So heavier. So page layout we have understood. The next concept that we're going to talk about is record type. All right. So what is a record type? Let's understand what's a record type. Record type is basically having different types of record in the same object. Okay. What is the different types of record? Sometimes what happens is uh, the records that I store under the same object can be of different types, and they might need to store different values as well. Okay, the attributes can be different. The values which need to be stored can be different. So that is where we need record types. Okay, for example, think about it. If I take this example of projects only, okay, we are talking about projects, okay. And projects, sometimes it may happen that I take up different types of projects, and the information which needs to be stored for them are different, you know, fairly different. For example, I take project of marketing, so I do digital marketing, and I do construction. My company takes construction projects also. Now, the information which needs to be stored for construction project is completely different from what information needs to be stored for digital marketing. Okay. So for construction, I might need fields like location, city, things like this. For digital marketing, I might be looking at daily budget. Okay. So the fields that are required, or the data which is to be stored, that is completely different. Okay. But it's again, now you might be thinking that if the fields are different, then why don't create different objects? Because if you have 10 different types of projects, you cannot create 10 different objects for each project type, right? So there we can work with record types. Got this simple concept, that where the data which is getting stored is, if there are some small here and there, small changes here and there, then you manage with the drop downs and pick lists and dependent pick list that we did the other day. But if you see that, okay, actually the fields which are required, the data that needs to be stored, that completely is different, then we can always use record types. Okay, so let's say, I mean, let's go with this example only. This project, let's say my company is currently dealing with two different types of project, digital marketing and construction, and there are different fields which need to be stored for construction, and there are different fields which need to be stored for digital marketing. All that you have to do is you just have to go to the setup, create objects, go to the project object, scroll down, you will have the option of record types. Okay, by default there are no record types, which means all the records are same. Now I want the record types to be created, so I will create two different record types here, one construction, one digital marketing. Just go ahead, create a new record type, call it construction, and make it active. Till the time you don't make it active, it will not work. Okay, it will not be available to you. Other thing that you see here is enable to profiles. So which all profiles should have this record type available? Again, record type can be controlled on profiles. So let's say for a certain set of users, I just allow one record type, and for another set of users, I allow the other profile. But I say, okay, fine, let it be available to everyone. Okay. Do you have Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you, but your this
Yes, Jeet, I'm
internet
able to
connection has gone.
It's like breaking. Sometimes it gets disconnected from your end.
I don't see the Salesforce thing getting loaded, so I thought, am I still connected or not?
Try Google first. I guess from there we can check net is working or not.
It is working. That is the reason why we are able to talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, okay. The Salesforce is not that happy.